Another thing is Toads is really good at like if I'm close to them I can spam Toads, and if I'm far away, if I need to really like run from like arcane and stuff, I can spam them and they can do the same job. You see, I wasn't even trying to kill that thing back there and it just died. I was just trying to kill this goblin. Tornado is really good for Soul Harvest too because it groups them all together for you. I've tried the frozen piranhas and the zombie piranhas with creeping death, and they actually work really well. But I felt like, at least for this Torment 1, which wasn't a very high difficulty, that you didn't need to use them. You used it with creeping death because things would just die too fast. But don't get me wrong, it's a great passive. It's just it's not very good when you're overgeared. Or I guess not overgeared, but if you're just trying to farm fast. But it pretty much that passive carried me through Act 5 with 60 gear. Because I would just dot things and just run away. So I can see it like working really well in like higher torments when you're actually like trying to do higher torments, but for right now I don't see a point in doing higher torments, at least farming wise. I mean you could do it, show you can do it, but the number of legendaries you probably get for doing multiple runs probably outweighs the like chance, the higher chance you get more legendaries. Like if there weren't like torment only legendaries, like the class set legendaries that only dropped in torment, I would be running normal instead. Yeah. And another thing I like to do is use Spirit Walk aggressively. Like, I'll stand in things and just Spirit Walk and try to kill them before they kill me. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But Jaunt is really good because it gives you enough time to either run away or kill them. Whereas the other ones are really too short. And like once you've used Jaunt, like you won't want to go back to the other ones unless you run like maybe a really heavy mana build that requires a lot of mana. But I feel like you shouldn't run those unless you have the gear to sustain your mana. In which case you would need to use the mana giving Spirit Walk in the first place. See, look, my Spirit Walk just kind of goes on and on and on until I run into something. See, crit for like 2 to 5 mil. And like with these buffs, I'm easily over 1 mil. And like that's not even the max buffs. Like imagine if I had full Soul Harvest stacks and full Crucial Feast stacks. And if I really wanted to be like, if this really was to be like the best build, probably would run like if I had the gear for it, with the Zunimasa set, which makes your fetishes not die, and I'd run fetish Psychophants because the toads actually spawn them, but I don't have that, so I won't. Actually, I can't. And that's it. That's the Rift run. I kind of tend to stay past after the Rift Guardian dies, and because there's so many mobs and there's so many more elites in one place, to finish out the Rift whenever possible. But I usually run it with a group. I don't know why. It's just I've had better drops or number of drops while in a group over solo, even though it might take a little longer. And that's it.